Hi, I'm Jamie Dowswell with Sustainable Aviation Futures, and we're here at the Sustainable Aviation Futures Congress in Amsterdam talking with some of the key partners for this year's event. I'm delighted to be joined by Patrick Edmond, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for Future Energy Global. Patrick, let's get straight into it. SAF availability is still very uneven. What could be done to speed up market growth?
Hey, Jamie, it's great to be here and thanks a lot for the conversation. You're absolutely right. It's very uneven. We hear of airlines with lots of problems getting SAF and getting SAF cost effectively, and we believe that book and claim, as it's called, is an appropriate way to go forward, which is decoupling the fuel from the environmental attributes of the fuel so that it's possible to trade those two separately, and that allows us to overcome many of the logistics problems and scale this market the way it needs to. And I've been really encouraged in the last couple of days to hear how much industry support there is for moving to some kind of book and claim mechanism.
Yeah, fantastic that it is coming along, and obviously it's something that keeps progressing and developing each year. What can the SAF sector learn from the very successful aircraft leasing sector?
That's a really good question. In fact, we had a really interesting session yesterday talking about lessons from aircraft leasing. If we look at what lessors do, they basically aggregate demand and they go and place orders with producers, and then they spread those orders out over time. And that, for example, is what we in Future Energy Global are doing. We're aggregating demand from airlines and from corporates. We're placing orders with producers and offtake agreements, and then we're spreading that out. And that's working very effectively. But in addition to that, the existing aircraft lessors are getting more and more interested in coming into the SAF sector to support the sustainability efforts of their airline customers. And the lessors have strong balance sheets and are interested in long-term investments, and they're not going to buy SAF plants, but they are potentially going to underwrite SAF offtake agreements, and I think that'll be a very interesting development.
Yeah, it is really fantastic seeing almost every part of the value chain wanting to have some kind of input into scaling SAF, into driving decarbonization in the sector. We just talked about aircraft leasing companies. What about the corporates? How can corporates help to scale SAF?
So the corporates are in some ways I won't say the unexplored territory here, but what we're seeing is that a lot of corporates who want to compensate for their Scope 3 emissions, their business travel emissions, are realizing that SAF Scope 3 credits are a really good way to do that. For example, we've recently done a deal with Microsoft to provide Scope 3 credits to them. Typically, corporates who are looking to offset or to compensate for their emissions, they'll maybe look at nature-based offsets or other projects that are outside their value chain, beyond value chain mitigation it's called. Whereas if they're buying SAF Scope 3 credits, that's within their value chain. The emissions came from their air travel, the credits are related to air travel, so that actually has recently been recognized by SBTI in their draft consultation document as a valid and useful way forward. So I think more and more corporates are going to recognize this as a good step, both to compensate for their emissions and to drive the future development of the SAF market, because when they're paying for Scope 3 credits, that reduces the price of the Scope 1s to the airlines, so it helps the market grow faster.
A lot to unpack there, and a lot to unpack here at the Congress over the past 3 days. We're almost at the end of it. Future Energy Global, we put on an amazing premium networking dinner on the first night. What are some of the key takeaways that you've got from this year's Congress?
So it's been a fantastic conference for us, and we've really, really enjoyed it. It's been pretty much back-to-back meetings from airlines who want to talk to us, from suppliers who want to talk to us about offtakes. But what I really see is a sense of the market beginning to mature. And everybody is talking book and claim, for example. The regulators have been here as well, which I really appreciate. There will be a revision to the European regulations in 2027, which may move forward with book and claim. We don't know yet. But overall, I think it's just been great to take the temperature of the industry. And I go home very tired, but with a very large pile of business cards.
Well, that's great to hear that. And thanks a lot for your support and for joining us this afternoon for this brief interview.
Thanks a lot, Jamie. It's my pleasure.